guess what? It's our last official notes of Unit 2, 2.5. Let's go. All right, make sure that you are open to 2.5 in your Unit 2 packet. We're going to review the order of operations and then practice using that with negatives. So we're going to take our addition rules, our subtraction rules, multiplication, division, fractions, decimals. Oh my goodness, it's a lot, but we're going to do great. Okay? So, let's start with our I can statement. I can, and we're going to say simplify. That's not purple. I have to write in my signature color. Simplify expressions with order of operations. Ooh, let's squeeze him in there. Okay. That says operations, okay? Just trust me. So, simplifying expressions. We're going to start with like a long math problem and then do our order of operations steps to simplify it, make it easier to solve. Okay? So, our order of operations can be remembered with the acronym PEMDAS. Okay, so parentheses. So if something is in parentheses with another thing, like adding in parentheses or multiplying in parentheses, you do that first. Then you're going to do exponents. So if you have any exponents, use those. Then you're going to do multiplication or division, left to right. So if division comes first, you're going to do that. Then moving to the right, multiply after. Or if multiplying happens first in the problem, then division, left to right, just like we read. So after we've done that, we're going to do addition or subtraction, again going left to right. So let's simplify each of these steps. So parentheses. I'm going to start with 9 plus 3 is 12. Minus 5 times 4 is 20. So our problem now is just 12 minus 20. Okay, you can use keep, change, change. I'm going to write it on the side. So 12 minus 20, keep, change, change becomes 12 plus negative 20. So this parentheses is just saying that that negative belongs to the 20 and that it's not a subtraction. Okay, so same sign, add the numbers, different signs, subtract. One's positive, one's negative, they're different signs, so we're going to subtract the bigger minus the smaller. 20 minus 12 is 8. Then we keep the sign of the bigger number. 20 is bigger and positive, so it's going to be negative 8. So just do what's in the parentheses. We did 9 plus 3 minus 5 times 4 is 20, so 12 minus 20. I changed it from subtraction to addition. They were different signs, so we take the bigger number minus the smaller number, which is 8. Then you keep the sign of the bigger number, which was negative, so negative 8. Okay? So exponents. An exponent is like this little 2 on that shelf of the 3. Okay? And it says, this is how many times I'm going to multiply this number together. So it's not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3, which is 9. So it's saying I'm taking 3 times itself 2 times. So there's 1, 2. So then negative 2 to the fourth. That means I'm going to take negative 2 times itself 4 times. So this is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Squeeze them in there. Okay? So I'm just going to start with 2 of them. Let's start here. Negative 2 times 2. A negative times a negative. They have the same sign, so it's going to be positive. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? Same thing over here. Negative 2 times negative 2 is also going to be 4. So I have this half times this half, which turned out to be 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, so an exponent just says, multiply this number times itself that many times. So negative 2 times itself 4 times. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Okay, so the multiplication and division step, go left to right. So starting with 12 divided by 3, just 4, then times 5, just 20. Again, going left to right, 6 times 7 is 42, then divide by 2 is 21. Okay. Then addition and subtraction, again, going left to right. So we're going to start with 9 plus 20 is 29, minus 11 is 18. So start with the first two, then do the next one. Okay, 15 minus 3 is 12, plus 12 is 24. So left to right. So we're going to use all those baby steps all together now. So we have the quantity 5 times 4 minus 6 times the quantity 8 minus 7 plus 5 squared. So we're going to start with the parentheses. So this is going to become 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Minus 6 times 8 minus 7 is 1 plus 5 squared. Okay. Now I'm going to use my exponents. Here's an exponent. That means 5 times 5, which is 25. Then I'm just going to leave the rest the same. Then we're going to multiply left to right. I'm not multiplying 20. Minus 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 25. Now I'm going to add or subtract left to right. 20 minus 6 is 14. Plus 25 is 39. Whew, shake it out. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. That's a lot of writing. Okay, so just to recap, we started with the parentheses. 5 times 4 got me 20. 8 minus 7 is 1. Then we did our exponents. Everything else stayed the same. 5 squared means 5 times 5, which is 25. So now it's 20 minus 6 times 1 plus 25. Then we're going to do the multiplication. So 6 times 1 was 6. So 20 minus 6 plus 25. 20 minus 6 was 14. Then plus 25 was 39. Okay, let's do some together. Let me go down a little bit so I can write a little bit better. Okay, starting with our parentheses. So 18 is not parentheses. 2 plus 4 is 6. Plus 12 plus 12 is 24. Divided by 6. Okay, then I multiply or divide left to right. So here's a division. 18 divided by 6 is 3, plus 24 divided by 6 is 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. We can do it with fractions too, okay? So start with parentheses. That first parentheses doesn't mean anything. It's just saying this negative belongs to the 2. Plus 7 over 5 divided by. So fractions, we multiply top times top. 1 over 3 times 4 is 12. So we did parentheses. There's no exponents. So now I do multiplication and division. So this is 2 plus negative 2 plus, I'm going to write him over here and then erase him in a minute. So we have 7 over 5 divided by 1 over 12. To divide fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. So 7 over 5 times 12 over 1. 7 times 12 is 84 over 5. Unfortunately, those guys don't share anything, so it's just going to be 84 over 5. Okay? Then I'm going to add or subtract left to right. Starting with 2 plus negative 2. Well, that's 0 plus 84 over 5. 0 plus anything stays the same, so this is just going to be 84 over 5. I gave you a little bit easier one. Okay? So starting with parentheses. 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by negative 2 plus negative 2 minus 1. I'm going to change it to addition so I can use my rules. It becomes negative 2 plus negative 1. Those are the same sign, so we're actually going to add the number parts together and then keep the sign. So it's going to be a negative, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. And that is squared. Then I have to do my exponents. I did parentheses, check. Now my exponents. I have negative 3 squared, which means negative 3 times negative 3. Because the 2 tells you to multiply by itself 2 times. So negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive because they're the same sign. So it's going to be positive 9. Okay? Now I'm going to do multiplication or division from left to right. Here's 2 divided by negative 2. A positive and a negative is going to be negative. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So negative 1 plus 9. Okay, 1's negative, 1's positive. My addition rules tell me to subtract. 9 minus 1 is 8. And we keep the sign as the bigger number, which is 9, and it's positive. So positive 8. Okay. And it always got to have a word problem, right? Ooh, it's a long one. There we go. Okay, Jordan earns $7.75 per hour. He works for 6 hours. Okay. Per is a math word. He works for 6 hours. After work, he spends $6.85 at the gas station. Then he buys 2 games that are $8.99 each. How much money does he have at the end of the day? Okay, let's start with our $7.75. $7.75 for 6 hours. So that's 6 times that amount. Okay? Then he spends, so minus $6.85. Then he buys, so minus 2 games that are $8.99 each. So 2 times $8.99. Okay, and we want to know what that total is. So I'm going to start. I don't have anything in parentheses. These just mean multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to start by multiplying from left to right. 775 times 6. To multiply a decimal, we just multiply like normal. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 3 is 45. So it'll be 49. And there's 2 numbers after the decimal. So we're going to go 1, 2. 2 numbers after the decimal. So this is 49.50 minus $6.85 minus, we're going to take $8.99 times 2. 2 times 9 is 18, carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 8, plus 1 is 19, carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. There are 2 numbers after the decimal place, so I'm going to go back 2 spaces. Okay, so now I'm going to add and subtract left to right. Starting here, 49.50 minus 6.85. Gotta borrow again. 14 minus 8 is 6. Your decimal point comes straight down when adding or subtracting. 8 minus 6 is 2. The 4 comes down. There we go. So now we have to subtract another 11.98. Gotta borrow. 15 minus 8 is 7. 17 minus 9 is 6. Just kidding, it's 8. Okay, the decimal point comes straight down. 1 minus 1 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. So he's left with $30.87. Okay, so I know these are tricky, so I want to do a couple of the practices with you. We'll do, how about this one and this one? Because I think you can do the word problems on your own. Oh, it didn't move my circles. That's funny. Okay. So, starting with parentheses, we have 5 minus negative 4. If I keep change, this becomes 5 plus 4 over negative 3. Okay, 5 plus 4 is 9. Then we're going to do our division. Remember that fractions are just division problems. So 9 divided by negative 3. Okay, a positive divided by a negative is going to be negative. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now our problem is 9 plus negative 3. They are different signs, so we subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6. And you keep the sign of the bigger number. 9 is bigger and positive, so positive 6. So even if you see a fraction guide, oh, it's just division, okay? So I did what was in the parentheses, 5 minus negative 4. I just changed it to 5 plus positive 4 first, which became 9. So now it's 9 plus 9 divided by negative 3. 9 divided by negative 3 was negative 3. So now it's 9 plus negative 3, which is 6. Okay? Let's do this decimal one together. So these parentheses just mean multiply, so I don't have any parentheses to do, but I do have an exponent. So I'm going to work on that on this side of my paper. So that means 5.1 times itself 2 times. So we're going to pretend like the decimal isn't there. Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5, 0, 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 5 is 25. Then we add, okay, 2601. Then there's 1, 2 numbers after my decimal. That has to match in my multiplication problem. So 26.01. Okay, then I have to do my multiplication. I have negative 2.3 times 4.7. That's going to be a negative. Okay. So pretend like the decimals aren't there. 7 times 3 is 21, carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. 0. 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 1 plus 0 is 1. 6 plus 2 is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so there's 1, 2 numbers after the decimal point. That matches in my answer. So minus 10.81. Let's rewrite that 8, make it look nicer. There we go. All right, so now I can do my addition and subtraction steps. So we're going to start with 26.01 minus 4.6. 1 minus 0 is 1, gotta borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. My decimal point comes straight down when we're adding or subtracting. 5 minus 4 is 1, so we have the 2. So plus negative 10.81. We're actually going to subtract. 1 minus 1 is 0, gotta borrow. 14 minus 8 is 6. Decimal point comes straight down. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. So now we have 10.6 minus 3.4. 6 minus 4 is 2. Decimal point comes straight down. 10 minus 3 is 7. So 7.2. Cool. All right. So take your time. It's a lot of steps, I know. Okay, remember, if you're adding fractions, you need a common denominator. You got this? Good luck.